Welcome back to the Shop Mini RC, everybody. I'm Ken, and today we are looking at our 6x6 TRX4M. This is all Injored out, except a few things. We still got our stock receiver and ESC in here. This back portion here is hobby details for our 6x6. We got some DJ crawlers, wheels, and tires. They're filled with Flub RC inserts. I don't know if you know about Flub RC, but you need to check them out for sure. We got a video right over here on them. We also have the video on building this guy up to this point. You can check that video out over here as well. Basically highlighting the hobby details and the wheels and tires here. Again, these are DJ crawlers, wheels and tires, 1.33s. We had to have some custom Flub inserts, the slime ball inserts made because they're a little bit larger ring than a normal 1.3. And yeah, he went ahead and added that to his list of available inserts. So if you're looking for that, get it. But look at all this Injora. We got Injora brass links. This guy is heavy. It was like almost 1,200 grams last I checked. Maybe a little heavier now. But yeah, got the Injora brass links, Injora brass skid, got the brass diff cover and knuckles and C hubs and all that stuff. Tons of brass. These little hobby details rails and shock mounts are brass, so it's heavy. You know, we're not trying to build a crazy performer here, but we do want to make it perform as best as we can with the weight we have. We do want the weight. This actually was a used rig. Not all of it. We added some to it, but we picked up a used rig. It had some stuff on there. We threw on some more Injora stuff, but it already had the brass links and this skid cover here. So we went and kept it. We added the hobby details portals here. Really widens this guy out. This guy is super wide. Do we have a stock here? Let me get a stock real quick, but I'll show you how wide this thing is compared to the stock. And but yeah, these portals are pretty slick. They have very little play for portals. If you know anything about portals, they give you a ton of slop and play. These guys have very little compared to many of the ones that we've used before. So that's cool. And they just bolt right onto stock axles or these Injora axles here. This is actually the hobby details axle, but the Injora axles, any stock spec axle, they can just bolt right onto. Anyway, let's show you how wide this thing is real quick. Here's the stock truck for one. There's the Defender right outside the wheel wells. Bam. She's wide. Super wide. Anyway, it'll be fun. We just want to do something fun with this guy. Show off some of the cool parts and stuff that people have. You know, like I said, the DJ crawler wheels and tires, the Injora parts, the hobby details, 6x6 basically assembly that adds on. It literally just bolts on right here. Boom, that's it. This whole thing with these 4 screws, you can pull off the rear 6x6, which is pretty sick. Yeah, anyway, but we've got something cool here. Before we get into it, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell. All those things you do for channels you want to support. We also have a channel member program where you can sign up and become a channel member. Here's some information over here. You kind of see what they get to see extra posts. We have posts just like vlog updates, behind the scenes stuff. Also, they get to see all the videos that get posted before they get ads put on them and early. So we'll post them, we'll upload the videos. You get to see them early before they go live public, and then they have ads on them. So some cool perks for being channel members. There's also other perks in there, priority comment replies, stuff like that. Anyway, you can check it out. Check out the perks for channel members. Also, we have some swag. Check out the swag. And that helps just support the channel to show off to your friends. You know, we make maybe $1 or $2 on each item. It's really just to help prevent us from having to go in and change the price every time they change their prices, because they like to raise their prices 10 cents here, 10 cents there. And we just said, we'll just put $2 and eventually we'll have to change them again, add $2 more to it to keep up with the price changes. Anyway, we just figured, check out the swag. If you want to help represent, you can do that. We also do giveaways every once in a while. We're about to hit 10,000 members. And when we hit 10,000 subscribers, when we do that, we'll probably do a giveaway for Ready to Run. And being a channel member or having swag, we'll ask for people to send in photos of them with the swag or having a rig with a logo on it. And that'll get them extra entries into that giveaway. So anyway, enough of the ranting. Let's check this out. Boom. This is what we got. We got the new Injora FJ. It's not totally new at this point. It's been out for a little bit, but we just didn't have any rig to put one on, so I wasn't really interested in the body. But then I was like, well, let's build the 6x6. And once we built the 6x6, I'm like, man, we need a body. Maybe we can make that work. That would be sick. And then the Injora, keeping with our Injora theme here, Injora ESC. This guy just recently came out as well. And so we're going to throw this guy in here and check it out. All right, let's open this stuff up. First things first, I want to look at this body. Show me that body. Let's see what she's about. Oh, we spoiled it. Dang it. Now you know. Now you know. Here's some instructions. Here's some hardwares. Here's some body. Ooh, that purple's pretty cool looking, actually. That flub, representing that flub with a little bit of the purple. There's our light kit. And looks like the cage, the rear cage. Before we get any further, what does it look like? Boom. Yeah, we're going to probably have to do something with the rear cage portion. But I'm sure it's only going to go to like right here. Maybe it'll still look cool. We're going to put it together like you would normally use it on your normal TRX4M, just stock swap over it, and we're going to see how it fits, and then we might have to modify it. Probably we'll have to modify it. So yeah, this thing comes with the lights, which is freaking sweet. I love it when bodies come with lights and they fit right on there perfectly. They got the correct fitments and all that stuff. Light buckets, all kinds of stuff. There's our grill. Mirrors. The details are going to be awesome. We're going to have to glue some of this stuff on or melt it. You know, sometimes when you put stuff on, you'll just stick it in there. And then you like take a soldering iron and kind of melt that in and flatten it down so it spreads out. It's one way to hold plastic bits in without super glue. So that's cool. I love that it comes with a window. Yeah, is this the bumper? Guess we have a little bumper on there. We do have a bumper on our truck already, so we'll probably try to keep this Injora metal bumper because I dig that. I'd like to try to keep the rear, maybe if it looks okay. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be hard to tell until we get the body together. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna throw this guy together, and it's pretty simple. If we have any issues, we'll stop and show you, but we'll be back when it's done, unless there's issues. So far, so good on this thing, guys. It's looking awesome. This is a harder plastic than we expected. We kind of thought it was going to be more of a nylon kind of bendy material, but it's like a hard plastic. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but I just wanted to let you know because I thought it was going to be kind of a squishier plastic. Not squishy per se, but like, you know, flexible, but it's definitely rigid. So that could be good. The only concern is that it could also be brittle, but I don't think so. It seems pretty strong. Just don't don't over tighten. Because you're going plastic into plastic, you don't need to go super tight. If you tighten it too much, you could crack, you know, some of these holes. One thing I really like about this is how inset the screws are. See the caps? They're like way inset. So that is super nice. Like it makes it feel super quality, just the way that they're recessed. So I really dig that. I got back on camera to show you these little parts. I was like, what are these? And I was looking at the instructions and looking, and I realized they go right there. It's hard to notice if you're not looking, but they basically go like so, and they help give you something to screw into and help hold the windshield in. Here we go. You can see a little better there. It like clips onto the window, and then your screw goes through that. Focus. There we go. So yeah, that's how those go. Because I was kind of confused at first. I didn't know what those were for. And then this back portion just goes on here like so. You put your screws in, mount it to your chassis rails, and then, oh, it goes this way. And you have a hinge. Okay. Pretty cool. We're probably not going to use this hinge on our 6x6, but I want to throw it on there and we'll show you. You can see it goes right there. Alrighty. We're all together now. It's looking good. These screws in here are kind of a pain. I kind of wish they would have done this a little differently. I couldn't get my driver in there straight enough to be able to tighten them down. So, and they, you know, include a hex wrench, and I tried to get it down in there and it's scraping on the windows. We didn't scratch it, thankfully, but it was hitting on the windows. And eventually I was just like, you know what, let me just cut this little thing down. So I cut the long end down on my Dremel and you can use the short end as the long end, and got in there and tightened it up. Tedious and slow, and definitely tried my patience, but we got there. And then, yeah. Oh, also in the instructions, they don't show this. There's two holes here, one here and one here. They go into the cage. See that? And we put screws in there, here and here, to help hold that nice and tight on the bottom as well. Doesn't show it in the little instruction sheet, but it's there. The larger LEDs go in the front, the smaller ones go in the back. It's go ahead and plug these in real quick and show you. You have to figure out a nice way to kind of tidy up your wires so they're not ugly and in the way. But that should be easy enough. Bam. Whites in the front, reds in the back. Freaking sweet. I love when kits include lights. I already said that, but I'm saying it again. So that's nice. And I think we're just going to try to get this guy to fit on here. Pretty much not doing anything. We'll just leave the back like this. Try to drop this down as far as I can. This part is supposed to hook in. Goes like this into the chassis on the rear of the chassis, and then you can open it, right? So that's how that goes, but we're not going to be able to mount it there. However, I feel like if I remove this and I slot this out, I cut some notches in here, it'll allow me to slide this down over the chassis rail. And then I can maybe run screws, longer screws through here, come through longer and longer, and it'll mount right up to the inside part right here on these guys. So I'm going to pull this off. We're going to try to get things to fit. And this little latch, which I wish was not clear, because when the lights are on, it kind of glows, right? Because it's all part of the white clear. You can always paint it black, I suppose, but not ideal to do that. So it's supposed to latch up here, but it covers our lights a ton, and I kind of want to keep this bumper, and it also pushes it forward, and we've got so much real estate in the back here that I felt like, well, here, let's go. And I can't sit it as low because the shock towers right here are hitting on the window right here. You can see this window sits up pretty high, or low, hangs down pretty low. So if I move it back just a little bit, I'm actually able to hook this into here without hitting the servo. It's close to the servo, but it does not hit the servo. And so I can use that as my latch. Yes, our bumper's a little far away, but again, it's a 6x6. It's supposed to be big and bulky. And then that kind of drops us back just a little bit, gives us even more clearance for our tire, which is good. Front wheels. And helps take up a little bit of this rear real estate, just a tad. And then it lines up almost perfect with this bolt right here. I don't know if you can see that. It's a little bit off, but I think once it drops down in there, we might be able to get a bolt right in there just right and into that piece there. And then hopefully have a little bit of a pivot, not much, just enough to get to our battery. But I will have to Dremel this out. So we'll see. Maybe we'll run these lights to the back. I don't know. These don't really have a spot for the lights. I don't know what we're doing yet. We're going to figure it out. One other little thing. I don't know why they included so many other size screws. There's like these and some larger screws here. And we don't really use any of them. We were actually short one of the 1.4 by 8s. So we took a 1.4 by 8 out of the center here because there's 3 there. So we took the center one out to use it on the inside of the cab because that's more important, I think, holding the cab. There's already like 3 screws here plus the top screws. I think these can be a shorter screw. They went in just fine. But these larger screws, I don't know what these are for. Shrug. If you know, put it down in the comments below. Why are there 2 I believe these are 2mm. Why are there M2s included in here? Maybe they're 1.5s. I don't know. Either way, why? The body doesn't use them. Weird. All right. So what I ended up doing was pulling the rear off. See how low I could get it. And even-ish, as even as possible, right? So we dropped it down. This is clipping into the front, and you can see we drilled 2 little holes, one here and one here on this side. And that allows us to put a longer M2 screw all the way through the body, and then through the chassis rail, and through the brace or link mount here. So it goes all the way through, and now we've got kind of a hinge point, so we can just pop this up and hinge it. That's about as far as we're going to go. Probably less if we put the rear back on there. I'm wanting to put the rear on there, and thinking about basically cutting all of this out and having just the top bar and the side bar, maybe both side bars, just so there's that brace for here. We'll see. So as I look at this closer, we did have to taper this in more, which means that we can't use the back at all because, well, look, it does not match anymore. Oof. We could use just the top bar here and cut these off and then drill a new hole through the bar here, but we lose that roundedness, but that's okay, I guess. And we'll just screw it straight in. So we'll have our 4 screws, but we don't get to keep this how it is. I can also just not mess with this in case we ever want to use this body on something else. And I can use probably some antenna. One second. Bam, antenna. Get some of this black antenna here. It's very close. And maybe we can just go like so. Bam, bam. Hold on, let's see. How's this supposed to go? Oh, it's supposed to go on the inside. Outside, inside, outside. Okay, yeah, it's supposed to go like this. We could make that work, maybe. Put some little tiny holes through here. But then we don't have to ruin this, and we can always use it later. Or maybe we can mount it in the back somehow. That way we've still got our bumper. I don't know. Let's not cut that up yet. Let's try to do this. Well, I think it worked out. We just put a brace across there. Obviously, I'm going to trim these down. Chop it off here and here. But you can see it's now braced. Super strong. And we should still be good to open here. Yeah, not much. It's hitting on the screw on the chassis right here, but then also here now. But basically they're hitting at the same time, so it doesn't matter. Either way, that's about as far back as it goes. I think it's hitting on the chassis screw first, actually. Maybe at the same time. Whatever. Either way, that's as far back as it's going to be able to lift, but I'm okay with that. Kind of digging that. Yeah, and I like that it still clips in the front. Nice. We'll just trim off this excess. We should be golden. Maybe we'll figure out a way to do the lights in the rear here. Don't want to trim it too close because you can always trim more, but you can never put back what you take off. So just be careful. You can also Dremel this down just to make it a little bit smoother there, but I think that's good. It's going to work. Yeah, buddy. Pretty sweet. Just kind of wish there was some way to, I don't know, do something more with this back here, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to work out. I would like to drop this bumper all the way back to here, though. That'd be nice if I could mount the bumper all the way to here or just directly underneath here, just a little bit, because having it hang out that much is a little much, but I don't know, maybe we'll put a winch on it, or not a winch, a trailer hitch. We put a trailer hitch on there. It's going to stick out even more. It's going to hurt our departure angle here. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe move this bumper up right under there. We'll figure it out. But the body's working, and I dig that. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments below. What do you think about the body on here? I like the purple. I'm digging the purple. Digging the style with the rams here. I'm digging it. It'd be nice if they had an interior for this guy. Injora, make an interior. We need an interior. Just a flat. I mean, there's so much room in there. It's ridiculous. You could definitely fit an interior in there. There's tons of room in there, especially on a stock truck. If you're popping this right onto a regular stock TRX4M, you got tons of room. Everything above the motor, basically. You could put a pretty deep, probably all the way down to here, interior, with some seats and the dash and the steering wheel. Would be fantastic. All right, guys, I went ahead and chopped the rear here, these rails down. These are the hobby detail rails. You can see I cut them down quite a bit, get this bumper tucked in. So now we have a much better departure angle, and it looks better. It was out to like here, so definitely better there. Just re-drilled some holes so that we could fit our screws through there. And then on the front here, we went ahead and removed that big old bulky bumper. This guy, while it looks cool, it was just sticking out so far compared to the body. And plus, this body comes with the bumper and how it's supposed to clip. And it was pretty much right where we needed it to be. You know, we needed it closer to the back side versus the front side because we moved our body back a little bit. And so by moving the body back, I ended up having to essentially Dremel these in to slot it deeper in. So it's kind of hard to see, but you can see I basically just Dremeled open the slot so I could slide it back, and then trimmed the back of the bumper off just a little bit so it would fit all the way down into there to get it, because we mounted our whole body back just a little bit further than it would normally be mounted on the chassis. And it works out real well because, well, our shock towers are right there. It also kind of, you can see where the battery sits, and it clears this windshield from these shock towers because they were hitting. So we have a lot more space now, and it's nice and snug, and the bumper is nice and low profile, helps our approach angle, get some up high weight off there. Even though it's forward weight, it's a little high, but yeah, so we're good to go on there now. I've got the body removed because we're going to do the ESC now. Boom. This is the new MB100 from Injora. This is a brushed ESC. So you can use your stock motor, you can use the Injora motor, whatever, any brushed motor. It's also 3S capable, which is pretty sweet. Comes with a bunch of different plugs from what I understand. Here, let's get this out of here real quick. To let you plug in different batteries, different motors, whatever. So there's this little guy. Nice. It comes with some Velcro so that you can Velcro it and relocate it if you need to. Here's all of our cables. And this guy is IP67 waterproof, so that's good if you're looking for something waterproof. It's got something called dynamic electronic overload, which provides a smoother power delivery, basically better control and overload protection so that if you get stuck in a rock, it doesn't overload and fry the ESC. So that should be good, help performance quite a bit. And then it's supposed to be super quiet, so we'll see. It's also got a built-in BEC, 6 volt, 3 amp BEC, so that's good. Here's the cables it comes with. So signal is white. So I'm just curious if they had the slot for the servo wire. That's interesting. Oh, this side. There we go. So this side that goes into the ESC does not have the little lip. So that's your receiver side. Speaking of receivers, you will need a new receiver. You cannot use this guy here because Traxxas does not give you a channel 2, unfortunately. So any receiver for a hobby grade remote will work. We're probably going to end up using this guy here, the new RC8X from Radiolink, but you can use your FlySky Noble or your GT5 or your FureTech Avatar, whatever. There's even an Injora remote. We don't have that, but apparently they have a remote as well, transmitter and receiver setup. What else did I want to say about this? Oh, it's got a continuous and peak current of 20 amps and 100 amps, respectively. It's a pretty good size. It's a little bigger than I was hoping, but that's okay. It's not huge. Let's go ahead and measure this guy, though. Looks like we're right at 38.35 millimeters. 38.35. Let's make sure we're calibrated here. Yeah, we're zeroed out. 38.35 long. 38.37 long. At the widest point, it's going to be 26.3, essentially. And then the height, which is a tough one, but we'll go to the capacitor here. So the height's 16.7. If you go just to here, the plugs, you're at 13. The website says 11 millimeters, but it is very much not 11 millimeters. I mean, this is, right? But you have to have clearance for all of this. So, and even these, once you get a plug wire on there, you're going to need 22 millimeters worth, almost 23. You can also cut these plug wires down. I've done that before. Basically trim off this whole top part of the case here, and then your wires can fold a little sooner. You just got to be careful. You don't want the pins popping out. So anyway, those are your dimensions, and it says it weighs 15 grams. Let's verify. It actually only, well, I guess if you include some cables here, we're at 13.9 plus, say we use the Traxxas cable, 19 grams with the Traxxas cable. This thing's heavy. Man, why is that so heavy? Almost 4 grams, 1 gram, 1.5. I mean, this thing is heavy. Anyway, so yeah, once you have your servo wire, motor wire, battery wire, I mean. This guy, 17 grams. So it comes with the ESC, comes with the receiver connecting wire, which is the JR plug, comes with the TRX4M plug to the JST-PH 2.0, which is what this is here. So you can plug this here like so. And this is basically the SCX24 plug. So if you want to use this in an SCX24, your battery can plug straight into there, but you won't have any sort of extension. What else do we have? We've got this guy here. Just I guess this is for the motor for the SCX24. So positive and negative, boom. Now you can run the SCX24 motor with the SCX24 battery, or you can run your TRX4M with your TRX4M motor, TRX4M battery. And then there's also this guy here, which is like a balance cable, which this is freaking the best. This is the absolute best. You can run any normal 2S battery off the balance cable. So you can just basically plug in your balance. Doesn't matter what plug end you have. And I love this plug end, honestly. I wish more ESCs came with this. Although it does limit you to 2S. So if you're running 3S, you can't exactly do that. But on our mini Zs where we race, they all run 2S. Everything runs 2S. There's no such thing really as 3S in the on-road mini Z racing. And so our plugs are all basically standardized using a single, kind of like the Traxxas, where it's a single plug, 3-wire plug that plugs into a 2-wire plug. And then when you balance charge it, you just plug it into an adapter and it splits it into your main leads and your balance leads. Anyway, we're going too far. This video is already long enough. So yeah, this is what it comes with. We're going to go ahead and get this thing installed. We're going to check it out. It does have a push button on and off. I kind of wish it was a switch, because we like to leave our ESCs on and then use the battery to power it and unpower, to turn it on and off. Just unplug the battery, because you should never leave your batteries plugged in. And these switches tend to fail often. I'm not saying this one's going to, but I have had these switches fail a lot. Whereas if I have an on-off switch and I just leave it on, doesn't matter if it fails, right? I've even taken stock ESCs and some ESCs, and I will decase it and remove the switch just to make it smaller, because it's kind of one of the larger parts sometimes, and lower profile and lighter. And I'll just solder the positive and negative, or the circuit closed, not the positive and the negative, but the switch circuit closed, so it's always on. So I would prefer that to be a actual physical switch, or have it programmable so that you can program it so that it's power on as soon as you plug in at all times. Anyway, all right, let's go ahead and get this guy in here. We need to get our receiver and all that. We're going to take this out. Pretty simple. It's just the 2 screws. This pops right out. We're going to put this right down on there. And then I guess we'll try to see if our receiver can fit right on here or next to it or something. We'll come back when it's all laid out. Man, 2 seconds in. Bummer. We popped this guy out and we realized there's no tray. There's no tray, and it just fits right through the shock towers. I totally forgot we didn't have a tray on here because we're using aftermarket shock towers and whatnot. Annoying. Maybe we can turn it. Nope, it's too wide to turn sideways and mount it between the shock towers. Bummer. Bummer. So we gotta, we'll just make like a little something, or maybe we can just, hold on, do we have a lot of space here? Maybe we can literally just drop it in here. That gets it even lower. And we'll just like double-sided sticky tape it between the shock towers. Boom. I think that's what we'll do, because that gets it lower. As long as we're not hitting on our links. Yeah. Wait, how far can we go here? Okay, so our axle can actually compress all the way to there. That's fine.
A few moments later.
There we go. We're all installed. Got our receiver here. Got to land on the side. It actually takes up less space when you have the servo plugs, are what are the tallest things. So we lay it on the side a little bit. Some double-sided tape on the transmission, not on the motor itself, because the motor is going to get warm. We don't want to get that warm too. So it's not actually mounted on the motor at all, just the trans. And then, yeah, this guy here is just kind of floating between the shock mounts, but it's staying. It does kind of move a little bit because it's just double-sided sticky tape if I really push on it, but it's not going to go anywhere. All right, let's go ahead and turn it on. Turn on our transmitter. If you're wondering what this is for FPV stuff. It actually will show on the, right here, if we have a camera hooked up. Pretty slick. We've got a video on that. You can check it out right over there, showing how this little FPV through the Radiolink RC8X works. All right, so we're here. Let's go ahead and turn this on here. It's just a press, single press, and it lights up. And we're good to go. Now this has got a very good slow crawl. I need to fix our trim here, but that's a very good slow crawl. Now remember, we got the slow crawl gears in this guy, so I do have to kind of keep giving a little bit of throttle here and there, but I feel like it's a little like it goes and then just kind of stops when there's, and give a little bit more. There we go. I mean, it's not brushless, but that's pretty dang good. And the reverse is about half speed. Again, we're on crawl gear, so it's very slow. Servo response seems good. Did lock out for a second there, but seems all right. Remember, we got crawler gears and we're underdriven in the rear, so it's definitely slower than normal. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get the body mounted back on here, and I guess we go drive it some. Give you my impressions of this guy. It is quiet. I do like how quiet it is. I mean, pretty much all that noise is coming from the metal drivetrain, metal gears, all that, but not the ESC. The ESC is quiet. So I dig that. Definitely like quiet ESC, so that's nice. So let's go ahead and just get the body on here, and we're going to go drive it a little bit. Man, it's cold out here. I just had to come out here tonight, really. I didn't have time today because, well, I work a day job, but I had to come out here before it got dark because it's gonna snow this weekend, which means I'm not gonna be able to get footage outside with this like I wanted. So I figured I'd come out here. I had like a half an hour before it started to get dark, and here we are. What'd I do for you guys? Trying to get cool footage. But it is freezing out here. There's still snow up on these rocks. Man, this thing is awesome. That new ESC is great. I don't know. I think there might be a little too geared down at this point, especially with this ESC. With the stock ESC, man, you really need to gear it down to get some good torque and slow speed control. But with this ESC, I don't think it needs to be quite as geared down as it is, because we're pretty slow. We don't have a ton of wheel speed, but man, it'll go up anything. It's just like it's gonna break something before it stops. So pretty sweet. We'll get back to the house and talk more, but I just wanted to show you guys. This place is beautiful, and get on the camera real quick and show you my runny nose. Excuse me. All right, so I'm gonna get back to the car because it's cold. Too freaking cool. It's already dark, like in 10 minutes it got dark, but this thing is so freaking fun. Go ahead and put this guy away. And then, like I said, we'll get back to you and when we get home. Whoa, there's our little recording rig, some of it. We've got a video on these little deals out. Also, we'll put that over here, just in case you're curious. Hell, we even have a video on this remote, if you want to check that out. The RC8X. Whoa! Yes, we forgot to turn the truck off first. It's kind of nice, just a single, you long hold the button. Oh, you can't see, it's so dark. And we're off. Simple as that. I dig it. Alrighty guys, when we get back to the house, we'll talk. All right, we're back in the warm, feeling better. And yeah, this thing, so fun. So fun, guys. The ESC is working fantastic for like a under $25 ESC. If you need a brushed ESC, that's the one to go with, I think. I do wish it was a little bit more adjustable. I'm not a big fan of the 50% reverse. They could have done maybe 75. Also, we're geared way low. So we need more wheel speed. I think that the weight is kind of hurting that in combination with lack of wheel speed in some aspects. We did climb this guy on a couple harder rocks. We didn't get any video of it, but rolled it a couple times and we're just like messing around, just kind of seeing some stuff. And I think the slow crawl is good, but I could use a little bit more wheel speed. But again, we're way geared down. So that's not the ESC. The ESC I think is just fine with that. I just wish, like I said, I wish there was a little bit more adjustability in the ESC. Just a little, just any amount, really. But $25, guys, under $25, sick. It's a really, really good value, especially with all the adapters it comes with. You can run it in an SCX or an FCX. You'd have to make adapters for the FCX. But an SCX, FCX, obviously a TRX, CR18P, all those trucks can run this brushed ESC. And probably the best brushed ESC out there for the price. My only complaint, adjustability, and then kind of wish it was a little smaller, but that's not a huge deal breaker. It's pretty small for what it is, but it was just a little smaller. And again, it's 3S. So that's actually something I totally forgot to try and mention, because we didn't have any 3S batteries with us. We just had stock TRX batteries. But I think I'm going to probably do some 3S on here, and we'll do another video, because I think I am going to change out the lower links on here, because I just want them to match. It's driving me nuts. Like I said, I think it's a little too much weight. So we're going to swap out the lower links. And then we'll try to get a 3S battery on this thing just to see, because that will probably help our wheel speed quite a bit. And we'll have that still some really good low-end slow crawl. So keep an eye out for that video. Make sure you like and subscribe, most importantly, and hit that notification bell. That way you know when that new video goes up. And if you want to show this to buddies, go ahead and share it. Make sure you share it. One other thing we need to do, we need to weigh this guy. So let's go ahead and weigh it. Let's get it on there. There we go. There we go. Boom. 1382. That is heavy. Mind you, that's with the battery too, but like, kept talking about how heavy it was, so I just have to show you that. And yeah, the body. Okay, so we hadn't talked about the body here in our little wrap-up final thoughts. Love that it comes with the lights. Freaking sweet. You saw that we mounted the lights all the way in the back here, so I dig that. Normally they would go in the tailgate portion of the cage here. I'd like to get something to kind of help cover this up. I was thinking about mounting a tire back here. Even if we just take like the stock tire and throw it on there. It's a little smaller than what we have on there, but I can't get another one of these wheels to do a matching wheel back there. If anybody out there has a set of these wheels, I just need two. Well, really I just need one, but they come in sets of two. I would like to snag that up, because I need this wheel and the hubcap. I've got the extra tire, I just don't have the wheel and hubcap to put back here, because it'd be nice to have a matching. Even though it's heavier, I would like to have it matching on the back. I should have ordered it when I got these. I didn't think I was going to put the tire on the back here, but anyway, so probably get a tire on the back there. That'll kind of help camouflage this. Maybe we'll get some styrene and cover it up. I don't know. The ESC does stick up and over that. Maybe we'll move the ESC to inside. The clip and the hinge is fantastic. There's plenty of room in there. I mean, we can mount the ESC on the side of the cab here, and the receiver on the side of the cab, and it would just drop in. Or we could get some sliders, some rock sliders, and mount it there. And that's probably what would be ideal. We just need to get some rock sliders. Didn't have any, don't have any. So let's see. The body though looks great. The paint's great. Got tons of compliments. When we took it out after we filmed, we went and raced Mini Z, doing some little 128 on road. We took the truck with us and showed it off, and people were just loving it. They're like, that purple is so cool. We rarely see this body in purple. So everybody's got like the gray and the other one, but not the purple. Not the purple. So we are super glad we got the purple. It just helps it stand out. We did make a little makeshift interior so our wires would stop popping up into the windows. We just used a business card from McQRC. Check out McQRC, guys. There's nothing McQ on here, but had a business card, and I was talking to him at the time, and I was like, let me throw your card in here. Anyway, this video is plenty long already, so we're going to be done with it. Again, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. Become a channel member if you really want to help support the channel, see the videos early, get all the perks that come with that, and pick up some swag if you need some new clothes. All right, guys, peace. Get out of here. Oh, wait, no, build a car, build a course, build a community, smash it, crash it, bash it. Don't break the expensive parts. Take care, guys.